Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I make a giraffe face cake. I hope you enjoy this one. It's a fairly long one, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do two, one in a realistic colour scheme and one in kind of a rainbow or unrealistic colour scheme. And I want you to start by finding an image of a giraffe or whatever animal you want to do, and you can print that off. Print it so it's just a little bit smaller than your actual cake. I've got an 8-inch cake here, and I've also got an 8-inch really thin cake card. I've cut out my template of my giraffe face. I've cut off its ears and its neck because I don't need that, and I'm cutting the cake card to the same size and shape as my face, or the giraffe's face. Stick it to the back of your cake with a little bit of buttercream. You can see my cake card just sticks out a tiny bit more than my cake, but it should be okay for this. I'm going to cut off all the extra bits of cake, just following that cake card as a template. Do that all the way around. You can do whatever size cake you want, guys. I went for 8-inch, but you could go bigger or smaller. I think smaller might make it a little bit trickier. Then I'm going to slope the edges a little bit. If it helps, you can print off more than one picture of your giraffe or whatever animal it is you want to do, because it's harder to follow what this one looks like because I kind of cut out its eyes and cut off its ears and things. But I'm just sloping the edges a little bit. Now its nose is going to have to stick out, so I'm using some buttercream and I'm going to stick the offcuts onto the nose area. And I'm going to try and shape it so it matches with my image. So I can see the nose is pretty thin as it goes up from sort of the mouth area up to the horn. I think, is it a horn on giraffes? Now I did this one in a Facebook Live, guys. And I know you guys that watched did tell me what they were called. I think it was horns. My memory is pretty bad, so I apologise. You can tell me in the comments below if I'm calling them the wrong thing. And that's the rainbow version that I did there in the corner of the screen. So we're just using the offcuts and we're gradually building up the nose area. So you can see it gets a bit fiddly and your cake can become a little bit soft at this point. But if it helps, you can put it in the freezer, your cake, and have it so it's frozen or partially frozen, so that when you're cutting it, it doesn't crumble too much. This one's actually not frozen this time, but I do sometimes do it with frozen or partially frozen cake. I'm just going to add a little bit extra just under there for the chin. Now, if this version's a little bit fast for you guys, you can still catch the full-length version of this over on my Facebook page, which is all done in real time. Also makes it a bit more boring watching it in real time. I'm going to cover the whole thing in buttercream. Those of you that watch me regularly will know I'm not very neat with buttercream, and I have to usually scrape over the top with like a flexible smoother. And what I'll do, guys, is link everything in the comments below, or not the comments, the box below, so that you guys can see what it is I've used for everything. And I do sell most of the products in my shop, guys, so you can find them there as well. So the realistic one, I did a cake board it was a 15-inch square cake board, and I used powdered colours diluted down with some dipping solution, or you can use clear alcohol or lemon essence. I used a mix of different greens. I had them fairly runny, fairly diluted, and I just splattered it all over my board. So my board is just covered in white fondant. Use citrus green, then we go grass green, and whatever the other colour is that I've hidden under my thumb. And of course you can mix them together, so I put a bit of brown in there as well. And for the one that has a bit more colour on, I used the colours that I was going to use on the rainbow giraffe on the background. You can see I kind of dropped it everywhere. But the nice thing about this splash effect was that it gave me a watercolour kind of effect. So you're not going to need both boards, guys, if you're only doing one cake. I just wanted to show you the different colours they put on the different boards. So these are two different boards. But yeah, if I accidentally spill paint later, you're not going to notice on these cake boards. So I'm using the Mona Lisa sugar paste for this one, but you can go with whatever your preference for sugar paste is. And you want to roll it out fairly thin, but not so thin that if you pick it up, it feels like it's going to stretch and just tear straight away, because we're going to move it around on the cake quite a bit. So my cake's been in the fridge while we was decorating the cake boards. And you're just going to carefully pull it around the face. Just make sure you're pulling out any creases. We don't want any creases around the giraffe. And just rub carefully around all those curves that you cut in earlier. Pressing it in firmly at the bottom edge all the way around. And it should still feel a little bit soft. So even though it's been in the fridge, my buttercream hasn't gone really hard, so I can still push around the shape a little bit. And I also realised that I didn't go quite big enough with the horns, so we're just adding a little bit of fondant under there for each of the horns just to make them a little bit bigger. Now you can use modelling chocolate as well for this, guys, if you want. Modelling chocolate actually tastes much nicer. I should have really done it in modelling chocolate thinking about it, but I did mine in fondant. You can also use a mix, so if you want to use half fondant, half modelling chocolate mixed together and roll it out and put it on, that would work just as well. just cut off any extra from around the edge. And I'm going to just at the tops of the horns, kind of cut tiny little V's out, just to make it look a bit hairier at the top of those horns. Then I'm going to use a Dresden tool, and I'm going to press in between sort of the nose and the bottom of the mouth, so we can make a little line. I'm just pressing up a tiny bit at the sort of side edges as well, and then under to create like a bottom lip. And my nose doesn't look the same as the one in the picture. I'm not too worried about that. You can play around with, the nose a little bit, whether you want yours thinner or thicker or pulled out a little bit more. And you need to not spend too long on this bit because you don't want the fondant to dry out before you finish working with it. So I'm kind of using, the template that I cut out earlier. You'll notice I cut out the eyes. I didn't show me cutting out the eyes in the paper, sorry guys, but I did. It's just so that I've got a rough guideline of where to put the eyes on the cake itself. And I'm just kind of pushing those in. Again with my Dresden tool, I've got a metal one here, but you can use a plastic one. Just to press in the shapes of those eyes. Can you see it kind of made the eyes look rounded just by drawing like the outer edge of them in? There you go, there's my plastic one. You can use either. I'm just going to put a piece of black over that just so my eyes stick out a tiny bit more. You could just paint the eye black. You don't have to add this extra bit of paste, but I decided I wanted them to stick out a little bit more, so extra paste just made them stick out that little bit further. You can use modelling paste or you can use a fondant for the black. I'm going to add a little bit of an eyelid. So just back to my fondant now. I can't remember if I told you guys earlier or not, but I actually used an ivory colour fondant. I know it looks quite white on camera here, and it's only slightly off-white is the ivory anyway, but I just thought it was a nicer base colour than using white. So a little eyelid on each eye, and then what I'm going to do is anywhere that I want the hair to kind of look a little bit longer, we're just going to use the pointy end of the Dresden tool and kind of flick little lines in so it looks like hair. Now, you can also use something that's textured. So I've got a piping nozzle that's a little bit textured. Again, I'll put links to which piping nozzle this is below the video for you guys to see. And I'm not going to do it absolutely everywhere because it's going to take me a little bit too long. So just the main areas where I think the fur looks that little bit longer. So the tops of the horns, if we decided they're called horns, I think we did. And kind of around that mouth area. Now I've got like a teardrop shape and I've pressed it fairly flat, especially on one side. The other side's a little bit thicker. The thicker side, I'm just going to cut to get a straight edge. Just make sure the length of this is the length of from one side of your eye to the other side of the eye on the giraffe. And this is going to become the eyelashes. So I'm going to add a little bit of water and I'm going to press that on there. So the cut edge is pressed against that eyelid. So nice big eyelashes. They're very kind of big and blocky at the moment. So if you want to separate them out a bit, you can cut them a bit with the scissors. I've left mine fairly chunky. And then we're cutting little triangles out to make them a little bit pointier. If you want to spend longer than I have done, you can go finer with the eyelashes. But for me, I was happy with that. And you're going to just do the same on the other eye as well. To stick it to the board, just put a little bit of buttercream down. So this is going to be my realistic coloured one that's going to go on this green splattered background. And then I'm going to use some of my leftover fondant from the offcuts for the neck. So you could put cake in the neck if you want, but I'm going to have it fairly flat so it doesn't stick out a lot on this one. I'm just trying to use my print off that I printed off before as a bit of a template for the size of the neck. But I think I'm going to pull mine to the side a little bit more than it was on the picture. I'm just going to add an extra couple of little pieces of fondant just under the head, kind of between the joint of the neck. And then let's put some wrinkles in. Again, have a look at your image you print off or just images that you've got online of different giraffes so you can see, if it's got creases and whereabouts they want to go. Then we're going to do some ears next. So kind of, again, flattened teardrops. They're not super flat. They've still got a bit of thickness to them. Just rolling them a little bit thinner in the middle of each one. Pressing them together at the bottom end. We'll probably end up cutting some of that off. Yeah. And you can point the ears upwards or downwards or straight out to the sides. Have a bit of a play around with where you like the look of them. And just stick a bit of water underneath them to hold them in place. Just putting a bit of texture there with my balling tool. So again, I'm looking at a photo for reference for where I need to draw hairlines. I think the horns are not quite big enough at the top, so I'm just adding an extra little bit of fondant onto there. And then let's run the Dresden tool through to make them look hairy again. And I'm going to put a little ball of white, or you can use your ivory for this, is fine, in each eye, so it looks like a little bit of light reflecting in there. And you can put as many little reflection bits in as you want. I think we'll leave it with 2. And I'm going to take a really thin piece of black that just goes underneath the eye. So I think this looked like it was the underneath of its eyelid, but I'm not going to press it completely up against the eye. Otherwise it'll just look like it's part of the eye. And then I can't decide whether this one needs a tongue or not. So I've rolled like a long piece for the tongue. Maybe it could be licking up its nose. I'm going to leave that to one side till I've painted it, and then I'm going to decide whether the tongue goes on. So I'm just adding a couple of little crease lines just above each nostril and sort of up the side of the nose. And then what I'm going to do is going to colour the whole thing. So first of all, I'm starting with the darker, more shaded areas. Look at your picture for reference. I'm using black powdered food colour, and I'm mixing it with dipping solution, which is like clear alcohol. It's like a food grade ethanol. It evaporates, so it's not really left on the cake, isn't the alcohol. But you can use lemon essence if you prefer. I'm diluting it down quite a lot, so I don't want the colour to be too dark. Anywhere that I do want the colour to look a lot darker, I'll put more powder compared to the dipping solution. And you can also dry dust things on. So, if you don't want to use a wet paint, you can just brush the colours on dry. So this is a squirrel brown colour that I've got here. I think this is the fractal one. I'll put a link below the video for you guys. And just have a little look at your printout for what areas want to be what colours. So this one was darker in colour around the nose and the head and the outer bits of the ears. And then of course it's spots. Its spots are really what make it look like the giraffe. And you can use a mixer size brushes, depending, go with whatever size feels most comfortable for you to use. Obviously, if you've got a big brush, you're going to cover more area quicker than if you've got a small brush, which is going to give you finer detail. So I'm using a mix of a dark brown and a squirrel brown and the spots as well. They're mainly on the neck, the bigger on the neck, and then I'm going to make them smaller on the face. On the face area, I'm concentrating them on the jawline and up to the cheeks, but I'm not putting the spots further up on the head. I don't know if this is what all giraffes look like, or maybe just some. Have a look at loads of different images, guys, and then you can see what you want to do. When I first was starting mine, I thought, I might give it love heart-shaped spots, but, I ended up with some more realistic ones in the end. And then I'm just painting a little bit of black under the eye. I don't know if it's its bottom eyelashes. It wasn't very clear on my image, so mine just looked like this. And it also had, like, darker patches just above the eye, as if it's got, like, a little eyebrow. Or it might have just been a darker patch of fur. I'm not sure. But I added them anyway. So I'm just going darker now on the brown areas. You can always just go with a little bit at first, and you can add more layers if you want to. So you should also be able to see on screen, guys. I did the same thing with the other giraffe, but I did do it in different colours. So try to come a little bit lighter with the brown as you come down the face. So I can dilute it more by putting more dipping solution in. It means the colour is not as strong as I'm coming down the face. I do want it to be nice and dark in the nostrils. And nice and dark at the tips of the horns. And it doesn't need to be a nice smooth colour. You can kind of paint it so it's a little bit patchy looking, because it works well on this kind of animal. With the rainbow one, you are still going for the same kind of thing. I just wanted to start with one colour at the bottom and then gradually go up to another colour. So we've got like pink spots, and then they gradually kind of go a bit purple. I think we're going to add the tongue. I know in the Facebook Live, I asked people whether it looked better with or without the tongue, and it was a bit of a mixed view on whether the tongue should be there or not, but I decided on adding the tongue. And I hadn't realised, which I did learn from you guys, that giraffes actually have pretty grey, black, even blue tongues. I still went for pink, but like a pale pink, and then we greyed it out quite a bit to try and make it a bit more realistic looking. I also had to put a toothpick just under the tongue, just to hold it in place till it's set. I didn't bother about tongue on the other one. Which one do you prefer, guys? The more realistic one or the rainbow one? I think I like the realistic one. Let me know in your comments below. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you can get new videos weekly. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and more.